Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Pittsburgh Steelers running game has been a sore spot with many issues through the first three games. Sunday's win over the New England Patriots, no exception. So what is wrong? A lot. Let's talk about it. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate that. So I got a bunch of clips for you guys, a long video ahead. Sure you see that already. Pittsburgh has multiple issues with its run game, both the offensive line, the scheme, and the back himself. So got to go through them in order. Pittsburgh's opening drive does end in a touchdown. That's a positive, but this run was not. Pittsburgh did run the ball well early in the game, and then things really faded. The scheme got less creative, and players simply did not do a good job. Big theme in this one, a lot of upfield penetration by New England. That 4-3 front, Pittsburgh has always struggled more against those base, even defenses than the odd fronts they practice against every single day. And yeah, these defensive linemen of New England getting upfield, getting penetration, and really ruining the zone track of the Steelers scheme. So we're seeing it here, Pittsburgh running split zone. It's an inside zone concept with the tight end Y off coming across the opposite way. The line slides. Mason McCormick, the right guard, unable to reach and cut off the big defensive tackle sitting here in the A gap between center and right guard. He's able to get upfield, get penetration. It throws off the track of Jonnu Smith trying to pull across. Jaylen Warren gets bottled up. He can't get some momentum going to barrel into the end zone, which he probably would have been able to do otherwise. He has to now change direction, lose momentum, gets off track, and the whole play just goes to ruins pretty early on. Tough block here from McCormick, no question about that. You're trying to really wash him down. It's tough to reach the guy of that size, A, and then B, kind of the technique here, how much of an inside shade he is, but that really kind of ruined the track here. It throws off Jonnu Smith, and the play goes nowhere. This is a weird one. Pittsburgh running outside zone, and so the aiming point's going to be, I don't know exactly if it's the inside hip of the tight end or off the hip of the tight end or the butt of the tight end, but they're trying to run outside zone here, and so I kind of get what's happening, and I kind of have some questions here. So Troy Fautanu on the defensive end, this 5-tech outside shade here, probably even a little wider than 5-tech. He has to reach and get outside of him, but it also, again, allows that upfield penetration. And so my question is, what is the technique for Fautanu here? He's got to reach and get outside to seal him so the back can keep wide, but you can't also just give him that runway to get upfield the way that he does. Now, McCormick, I don't think's in the wrong here. He's working on the D-tackle and then going to try to climb to the linebacker. And again, this ball's supposed to go outside. You can see the flow of Washington, of Jonnu Smith. We see the crack block by Pat Freiermuth. This ball's not supposed to go inside here. It's got to go wide, but you're getting this upfield penetration by the defensive tackle, and I just don't know how this is being coached for Fautanu to reach, but also not allow the penetration, not having the backside help from the guard. McCormick was giving backside help here. That would make more sense for Fautanu to step so wide and kind of allow that, knowing McCormick was going to take away if he spikes inside. So again, you're getting that upfield penetration. It ruins the track here. We'll take a look from the aerial view. We got Rodgers making a check here at the line. Maybe there was miscommunication and McCormick was supposed to help instead of climb. I can't say for sure. This one is a weird one, but obviously incorrect blocking here. It's not carried out the way it should be. You're getting this penetration. It's really ruining Pittsburgh zone track, a common theme in this video. So Rodgers making the check here. Some wires might have gotten crossed. Supposed to go wide. Penetration upfield. Fautanu, not sure what's happening here. Set on him. McCormick. This is just flat out bad scheme. Hard to say. Bad result though. More upfield penetration by New England. They got a talented defensive line. They invested a lot of money into that, and they get upfield, and it ruins these runs immediately. Now, in this case, this is on Troy Fautanu, the right tackle. He is just not getting off the ball as quickly as he should be. He is late off the line. He now cannot block 97, the D tackle. Milton Williams, who's athletic and a penetrator, had a great career with Philadelphia, got paid handsomely by New England. That's a guy you cannot be late off the ball, and you can't be late off the ball against anybody in the NFL, but certainly not Milton Williams. So slowing it down, you probably see it by now, focusing in on Fautanu. Ball snapped. Fryer's out of his stance. McCormick's out of his stance. Fautanu is not. He is really, really late here. On the road, probably working silent count, but other guys communicate it. Fautanu not keying it here. He's late. Penetration. Linebacker's free too. Warren does a good job to salvage something from this play. He ran hard in this game. I think there's some things he's got to work on. We'll talk about that in a second, but again, just not seeing Fautanu off the line here. Got Austin at this wing. I'm not really sure. It's kind of just bringing guys into the box. I really don't know the purpose. Maybe you're trying to threaten play action from what happened in week 1. But also, just a quick look here. Front side, we're not getting McCormick or Frazier to climb to the second level. So even if hypothetically Milt Williams is not an issue on this play, you're seeing the linebacker free. You see Frazier, McCormick, they're doubling, but no one's able to climb. You got 53 now free to fill and try to finish. Warren's able to make a miss, but it's just slowing this run up. Warren cannot get going, and it really ruins the track of this play. So Pittsburgh fortunate to get something out of this, but it was only probably a 2-3 yard gain. Late line shift here too, so you got to be able to respond to that. But either way, Fautanu way late off the ball here, and that really ruins the play from the get-go. I would put Jaylen Warren low on the list of issues of the Steelers' run game as we're exploring throughout this video and just looking at the season broadly, but he is probably not immune to criticism either. I am not in the locker room. I can't 100% confidently say what some of these plays are, but this ball should not have been bounced. This is a man duo scheme downhill. The look is good. Why Warren bounced this wide, I really can't tell you. There's good movement up front. There's a good double by Fautanu and McCormick on 97. Milton Williams, they're getting that movement here. I don't see anything that suggests this ball's supposed to go wide on this play. I don't know why Warren bounced it. And when you do that, when the ball's not supposed to go wide, now you're getting the DNs free. Landry's able to get off the block. Corners containing on Austin. Someone can disagree. Feel free and explain it, but I don't think this ball is supposed to go wide here. It should be a downhill play. There's good movement, which was rare in this game. You follow your blockers, get behind 66 and 76, run behind them, barrel ahead. Not going to be a touchdown, I don't think, but you're probably going to get, 5 yards. Got good movement here, unless he didn't like what was happening here with Landry. I don't know. It's a weird one overall. Not really sure what Warren was thinking. This one should be downhill and pressed. Warren bouncing wide, and this run goes nowhere. One recurring aspect for years now, it probably even transcends offensive line coach Pat Meyer and certainly OC Arthur Smith, is these linebackers that consistently run free. And I don't care who the linebacker is, if they're unblocked, they're going to make plays. If they're a talented linebacker, they're certainly going to make plays. I remember the 2023 opener against San Francisco, just watching Fred Warner completely unblocked the entire game, just working free and just dominating. Robert Spillane, ex-Steeler here, he's free, got a physical, smart, downhill guy like Spillane, and no one's able to climb and cover him up. He's going to make plays all day. So again, we're seeing the zone scheme. We're seeing McCormick and Frazier double here initially, which is fine. That's within the rules. But then once that's secured, someone's got to get to the second level, and that depends on where the linebacker goes. If he's going inside, McCormick peels off. If he falls back a gap, then Frazier's gonna climb here. But neither of them are able to get off of this block here. No one's either communicating or they don't. I mean, it's secured pretty well, so someone should be coming off here. It really should be Frazier, you would think. But Spillane in the hole, he's able to make this tackle. Jaylen Warren has nowhere to go. And Warren, I think, is fine on the read here. We're watching the D tackles. Helmet, he's spiking down. They're washing this down. We're seeing the flow this way. So you have your, bend, bring, and bang rules in terms of your zone scheme. And so I think Warren's okay here, but someone's got to, get upfield and climb and get hands on Spillane. He's working free. He's going to make tackles like that all day long. And frankly, I think he had 15 tackles in this game on Pittsburgh, running 49 plays in this one. So Spillane was very active, signed over to New England this offseason. So just bad combo rules. Pittsburgh's been bad at this for too long, and it bites them again. Yet again, from the get-go, Pittsburgh allowing penetration, ruining the track. A little different here watching the nose tackle, 95, on Zach Frazier, able to bully him back. Warren has the jump cut out of the way. Just can't get a runaway, can't get going, can't get Warren momentum past the line of scrimmage. He's constantly changing direction, slowing down, having to get off the track and intent of the play. Now on zone schemes, you're reading it. On man and gap schemes, there's a designated hole. So there's a bit of a read element here, but you're getting Frazier pushed back almost into the lap of Jaylen Warren. We'll take a look from the end zone view. A lot of penetration here. Warren's able to make something out of it, but at just a couple yards. I think there was a holding call. See the flag there that pushed Pittsburgh back. And so just a lot of penetration I'm seeing in this game, the Jets game, the Seahawks game, these really talented defensive lines, these 4-down fronts. Generally, New England a bit more multiple here, but they're, I think, basically running 4-3. They're bringing in these D tackles like Milton Williams. They're signing defensive ends like Chase Young and Harold Landry. So the scheme is different than what Pittsburgh sees, and they've just struggled against these fronts for a long, long time. And Frazier, talented as he is, can he handle some of these really big and strong D tackles and some of these high-end guys? Vita Vea in the preseason, he had issues. Now, granted, that's Vita Vea. He gives everyone issues, but, for Frazier to make that jump, you got to take on these big guys, and he's, just not firing off the ball, just not playing. I don't know if it's great technique or not. There's probably a better evaluation individually someone can make than me here, but just not able to fire off there, and he's getting pushed back, obviously. This play, oh man, this play is just a barrel of fun. So Aaron Rodgers at the line of scrimmage making a check here. We're going to see him in just one moment make that check. Line turns to him. We see Rodgers point to his helmet. So he's either canning the play, he's calling an audible. There's some sort of adjustment here. Obviously, the whole line's looking back at him. So we got Jones and Malu and Frazier and McCormick and Fautanu, even Jonnu Smith here. So they're making a check. They're communicating it out. So they're talking. McCormick's talking to Fautanu. You see Malu talk to Jones. Jones does not know what's happening here. Broderick Jones does not understand whatever check was made. And you see him step wrong, look completely lost. This was a theme last year of Jones not getting the call. He was showing visible frustration with Zach Frazier at points last year. So that's one component. Other component, Mason McCormick on this attempted cut block, backside cut block on Williams. Miserable. Williams able to defeat it easily. And Jaylen Warren is tackled in the backfield. So we got communication problems on the front side, even though ultimately that didn't really impact the play. Couldn't get to that point to get upfield at all because of the backside missed cut block by McCormick. But there are communication issues. Got Jones stepping wrong. They're all going left. Jones is going right. You got McCormick here unable to cut block. I don't even like trying to cut block Milton Williams on the backside like this. Sometimes the backside tackle. This is probably okay on the D tackle. Like Williams, a talented player. It's hard to really get that block to be effective. And so this play just goes nowhere immediately. Man, what a mess. This kind of sums it up. We got a lot of issues on this play. Communication, scheme, technique, overall execution. I mean, this is just a disaster. So, and even Rodgers, I think I hadn't even watched him in his reaction, but watching this play going, I made a check. Did we all not get this message here? Like, what is happening? What? That is me watching this play, just not to belabor the point in an already long video. But Rodgers at the end here looking right there like, what is going on? And I'm wondering what is going on too. Take one last look at it. It's a mess. It's a big problem, and it's not getting better, and they have not run the ball well at any point this year. Sounding like a broken record, Rodgers making a check here, zone scheme, penetration. You guys get the idea at this point. Run it through, and we're getting the DN spiking inside on Broderick Jones, unable to adjust. No help here from Malu working on the D tackle. So is this all on Jones? It's a zone track, and so maybe he's thinking there's help here backside. I think the safety kind of gets in the box here related to the motion of Skoranek comes across, and so Malu picks it up. So I'm not going to ding Jones as harshly as maybe others would. I think he's maybe thinking there's help here, trying to coordinate on the fly here as the picture changes here last second. They're trying to run weak side. They're trying to bring all the action the other way. They motion Washington across. They're motioning Skoranek across. They're trying to run this weak side, but they still can't, find any sort of daylight here. At the end, 44 spiking inside and tackling Kenneth Gainwell for a loss. You guys will see it. I'll just slow it down though. Defensive end spiking inside. Sayamalu normally would be help, but now he's working out, and they're just running this kind of slant scrape, and so they're trading responsibilities. He's not filling here. He's going to take and spike inside. Either that's coordinated or just on the fly reacting to it. So he's now outside. Sayamalu's trying to block this outside kind of contained guy. No one's blocking the guy spiking into the B gap, and he makes the play, and it's bad. This play, we're looking at left tackle Broderick Jones and kind of talking out loud about his role in assignment. And again, we're seeing the inside linebackers able to work free and work uncovered and read this one. That's Spillane making the play. Now, there's two questions to really ask here. A, is this bad scheme? Or B, is this bad steps? Are these, I should say, grammatically correct, are these bad steps by Broderick Jones? A tough assignment trying to reach this linebacker who's got leverage here aligned inside as this ball goes away from Jones. So that's not an easy assignment. I certainly will grant Broderick Jones that. I do wonder, what is the coaching point? Could this be more flat and downhill, knowing you have a tough angle to reach? Spillane is going to be flowing across as he keys the ball wide. So is this on Jones for getting upfield too much here initially, his angle of departure? Should he be more flat and downhill, kind of meeting Spillane where he'll be at as opposed to where he's at currently? Or is this just asking too much of Broderick Jones to make this play? You can debate about it. I'm not sure where I come in. Maybe a mixture of both. Otherwise, it is blocked up well. I think it's a nice job here overall by Frazier, by McCormick, by Sayamalu. I mean, you guys see the picture here. There's daylight. If in a world where Jones was 2 steps over, there's a lot of room here for Jaylen Warren. He may cut this back and be one-on-one with a DB, and I like that matchup for Jaylen Warren. Instead, Spillane is free, and he makes the tackle, and this run does not go for much. This happened earlier in the game, too. I didn't show that clip. It's basically the same thing with Jones unable to get that backside linebacker, and the play went for a similar result that came on the first drive or second drive, and so just seeing the same themes. This one has me debating a bit who's in the wrong here. I'll let it run through first so you guys can see it for yourselves, and then we'll talk to it. Pittsburgh running the split flow action. And is Warren making a bad read here? I'm not really sure. Pittsburgh ran this early in the game. They're kind of running this action with Frymuth jetting out to the flat to try to pull some of these guys wide instead of having to really truly block them. And Warren cut it back and I think had a decent run. I think he kind of didn't read that perfectly either. But should he have kept this front side, or was he okay cutting it back? So kind of talk it through. Split flow action. Warren, the front side looks okay. The question is kind of this crack block from Austin. Is he going to be able to really effectively do that? Can Jones run off the inside hip of Jones? Or can Warren, I should say, run off the inside hip of Jones and off the outside hip of Austin? Or will this whole kind of collapse? It does look good. Now, granted, they're all kind of flowing this way as they're reading Warren. So had he run left here, the picture's not going to stay the same. But you're getting the linebacker unblocked here. We're watching McCormick and Fautanu. Just McCormick's falling down on this play. They're doubling. He's trying to climb here. No one able to get a hat to the linebacker. And so again, we're seeing linebackers run free. Had this combo block of this double team initially, then with somebody working to the next level, would that have looked a whole lot better had that been done properly, and would we not be debating about Warren's read on this play? So we're getting probably multiple things here, probably some discussion about Warren and his read, but to this side, McCormick and Fautanu, just a mess, and Fautanu obviously can't climb at this point. He probably would be climbing based on the linebacker flow had McCormick stayed on his feet, but he's got to just stay attached at this point and just kind of, hope Warren can make it right and figure it out. So a lot going on here, but Pittsburgh just so bad on these combo blocks, man. It's just so bad repeatedly, and this run goes for very little. Last example, mercifully, and Pittsburgh running a variation of its Zorro run scheme. Usually it's a toss play. This year they're trying to run Zorro in some different ways that are not a toss. And so Zorro, and that's from the Shanahan tree, a little bit of maybe the LaFleur run game as well. You're getting a double team here in the play side defensive end from the tight end and the fullback. Usually they're going to motion and run across. Here it's Johnny Smith in kind of this shorter motion. So double team here, going to crack down from Freiermuth, but penetration again, and it doesn't matter really what's happening here. If you're getting these defensive tackles upfield, getting in the way, blowing these plays up, and you see that 95 having a field day against the Steelers front, and McCormick unable to reach here. We saw this earlier. It's a tough block, but Pittsburgh either has to change the scheme and give help, or McCormick has to either be better with his technique, his steps here. I'm not sure exactly what the answer is, but I can tell you this is not how it's supposed to happen. And so how many zone runs has Warren had to change his path or had immediate backfield action that's making him slow down and really ruin the play from the get-go? Warren makes the defensive tackle miss here. He's breaking tackles, but how much can you ask one guy to do? I think Warren played well overall, despite some potential misreads, but the offensive line just doing him zero favors. In Pittsburgh, they want to be an outside zone scheme. They want to be that kind of outfit. Arthur Smith had what he thought was the right group in his second year, young, athletic, backs that fit the scheme. Caleb Johnson can't get on the field. The offensive line can't get it right, and it's really bad on a lot of levels, and I think the tape speaks for itself. So overall, the run game is a mess, and it's not just this game. If it was a play or two, even if it was just one game, it can happen over the course of a season, but Pittsburgh has not proven they can run the ball at any point this year. Didn't show it in training camp, didn't show it in the preseason, have not shown it in the 3 games this year. The Seattle game, it was maybe a little bit better. The first drive, the second drive was better in this game, but consistently, wire to wire, we're seeing a lot of problems here. It's not just one thing, but to me, the overall picture is Pittsburgh cannot execute these combo blocks with offensive linemen working to the second level and doing so cleanly and efficiently. They're allowing too much penetration as well. Both are really so detrimental to the run game anytime that you're letting linebackers run free and uncovered and or allowing penetration by the defensive line in Pittsburgh. We'll see that Sunday in Dublin against the Minnesota Vikings. So Pat Meyer, the offensive line coach, obviously is going to be under the microscope, as he should. I've studied Meyer, I think, a good bit. I think he's got a teacher mindset. I think Pittsburgh has made certainly worse hires than Pat Meyer. Sean Surratt, Adrian Clem, Jack Bicknell Jr., if you want to go back a decade ago, were, I think, objectively worse, but we're not seeing growth and development. And I don't do it lightly or flippantly, but I called for the team to move on from Meyer during the offseason before this season, primarily because the offensive line was not working as a unit, not a cohesive group. And I go back to these zone runs to really show they're not working in tandem for their talent and maybe some individual positive moments. I'm not seeing the unit come together as a group and gel. And that's all that matters when it comes to offensive line play. It's not like receivers or corners or a pass rusher to some degree where individual play matters more than the unit-wide performance. The offensive line, it's a, one fail, we all fail mentality. And so I think bringing Meyer back was the wrong move. I think Pittsburgh was looking for stability, having gone through a bunch of O-line coaches in recent years and trying to have a young offensive line that was not starting over with a new coach. And I can understand that to some degree, but I don't think his style is meshing well with Arthur Smith's system. It's not a great pairing. Meyer was a holdover from the Smith era, quote unquote, to kind of look at it in that lens. And I think we see a change in the offseason unless this group gets a whole lot better in a hurry. So long video, wanted to go through it. A little cathartic for me to vent out what I'm seeing on tape. Mike Tomlin Tuesday during his press conference talked about, well, the defense isn't getting off the field, and so we're not getting to a rhythm offensively. There is a kernel of truth to that, but I don't care what the defense is doing. If you're not doing these things and not playing your technique correctly, as we're seeing the tape, I don't care if the defense is out there for 1 snap or 100 snaps. your run game is not going to be any more effective when you're not communicating well, not showing good technique, not being able to execute these combo blocks, not reading things well. Just all of the issues we're seeing on tape. So I found that to be a lazy and lame excuse and cop-out from Tomlin. The run game is bad because they are not executing. And it's a lot of little things, but they really add up. There's a bunch of popcorn, but it does go back to the umbrella of just being bad on those combo rules and zone blocks and getting to the second level and allowing or not allowing upfield penetration by defensive linemen. So I've rambled enough. Wanted to vent it out, share my thoughts here, and just kind of give my state of where things are at when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers run game. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Thank you again for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.